a card game called Territory. At surface level, this looks like Magic the Gathering restructured slightly.
Of course you would think that, you stupid person.
Thank you.
You ignorant fool!
Thank you. I called it a TCG. Yes, I did, because the deck of cards that I was sent originally for this game was only enough for the standard 2-player game. So we pushed it scheduling-wise. They sent me some more cards so that we could play a 4-player version. Also, slightly revised rule set from what's printed to make that playable. And gave me a spreadsheet of recommended decks to build with all of the cards that they sent me. So I spent like 2 hours today putting those 4 decks together. And there's another amount of cards, roughly equivalent to all the cards that are currently on the table, still in that box. So, yeah, it's a TCG. It's designed for you to build a deck to try and be competitive. We are using recommended decks for this game of King of the Hill mode of Territory. Mm-hmm. I am playing the Underlings, I think, was the faction that I got randomly dealt here. Dustin's got the Pack.
I'm the Pack!
I can't remember what the other 2 factions are called. The
Dasus?
Red and the blue. Yeah, the Dasus or Dasus.
Yeah, Dasus, kind of like elves.
The blue ones. So that means Paul's got the red ones, and they are... The Machine is that faction.
Sweet.
So, I don't know what that means. Probably things for like the style of play or whatever. Basics on how the game works. Dustin, I'm going to ask you to help me through this teach as I fumble through it.
We'll figure it out.
Because I did not practice teaching. I just tried to grasp the concepts. So, first off, we all have a deck of 6 territory cards. On your turn, or actually I think it's during the beginning of play step, we're all going to choose a territory to play to our central territory
I picked mine. Nobody look at it yet.
Good news. In the 4-player game, we get to ignore the left and right territories, and all we're only using the center column of this map.
Yeah, ignore these guys.
We've all got 6 territory cards. You're gonna pick one. You're gonna play it in the center column. I'm gonna pick just at random, and if that territory is ever destroyed, you will be able to select a new one from your territory hand. So just keep that set of cards handy for later. You're then going to draw from your other deck of cards. There's 50 cards in this deck. 10 cards for your starting hand. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. There are, I believe, 3 different types of cards.
Yes.
Indicated by the icon in the top left corner. There are, let me zoom in on my space. I'm going to show you guys some of my cards. Don't cheat!
Oh, okay.
Look down.
I'm still showing because that icon, that means that is a spell. We'll talk about those in a second. These are champions with the little Spartan helmet. And I don't have any of my, what are they called? Not artifacts. Artifacts?
Yeah.
Artifacts.
Relics.
That's it.
Is that the
They
fire
look like
one?
this.
They look like that. That's the
coin
icon
cards.
in the top left
Oh,
corner
got it.
for those. So on your turn, you get to play cards. When you play a champion, you're going to want to play it. You're going to play it to the champion, the territory that you have on the board. So again, you're ignoring these 2 spaces for this game mode. So you'll play your champion here. When you play a champion, you've got to play it on the red line. Basically, it's coming in exhausted, so you can't use it the turn that you play it. You're also going to look up in the top right corner is a food cost for that champion, and in the bottom left of the territory is a food supply. You cannot play a champion if you don't have enough food to play that champion. and that's a total value. So if you're playing additional champions to this territory, you've got to have enough food for all of them collectively. Now there's 3 numbers on the territory card. The leftmost is where it's going to start, but on your next turn, you're going to advance that territory card up to the line there, and that means that you're at the 2nd number. And then once you get it up to the 3rd line, then you're at the 3rd number for the food supply on that territory card. If you lose this territory card, you'll replace it with a new one at the same line. So it'll come in at full strength if you lose it once it's up at 3.
So 3 turns and we're up.
3, yeah. Once we go 3 turns around, we're all at our max food supply for that particular territory.
Cool.
So you can play champions as long as you have enough food to that territory. You play them on the red line to indicate that they cannot be used to attack that turn. At the end of your turn, you'll be able to move those champions off of the red line and just into the space. And then on your next turn, if they're in the space, then you can use them to attack. When you attack, you slide them up to the green line to indicate, I've already used this champion this turn. When you're attacking, you are choosing a territory, which in this version of the game is the central territory that you are attacking from, and in a territory or relic that you are attacking to. And in the 4-player version of the game, you can attack anybody's anything. All territories are adjacent to each other. All relics are adjacent to all territories. So, if I'm choosing to attack Dustin, I'm going here.
Don't do it.
Maybe. Then I'm going to use this champion. I'm going to look at his sword value on the bottom left, and I'm going to roll this big-ass sword die to determine how much damage I'm doing. So I add that number to those swords.
Yeah, you would.
So that'd be 6 damage coming at Dustin's territory. He doesn't have any champions out at the moment to defend, so all 6 of that damage would be going to his territory card. He's got 1 armor on that territory card. So looking at that territory card,
I have 9 life and 1 armor.
yeah, so your 1 armor is gonna block 1 of the 6 damage coming at you, and then you will take 5 damage to your health. You'll track that with one of these many black regular
Tracker
D6 dice that we have on the table.
Cool.
Once you meet or exceed your total health value, whoever dealt the killing blow gets this many points.
I got 5 stars.
Is that 5?
Yeah.
It's 4. Oh,
No,
it is 5.
It's 5.
So somebody
I'm worth a lot.
Somebody would score 5 points for dealing the killing blow on that territory. Once you get to 20 points, you've won the game. What else? Spells, spell cards. There are 3 different types of spells. If it's got a purple border, that is a pure spell. You're gonna play that and resolve its text, and then move it to your discard pile. Just like Dustin just did.
I demonstrated.
If you've got a yellow spell, no, I'll talk about that one last. Orange spell, that is a spell lore. That is going to be attached to another card. So like the one that Dustin has there is a territory spell lore. You'll tuck that underneath your territory card, and that's going to augment the territory with whatever the text says. Make sense? Hopefully? Maybe?
They said yes.
Getting there?
Also, when you play a spell, you've got to spend these spell tokens. You're gonna have to add 2 to your supply every turn. And if you don't have enough, they are double-sided also. You can flip them over.
You track extra with these tracker dice.
Track extra with dice. But you'll start with 2, you'll add 2 every turn. Actually,
Up to 6.
Oh, thank you. Up to 6 is apparently the
I didn't
max.
see that.
I didn't either. Thank you.
Good job, Eric.
I'm glad you read the rule book.
That's why he's the expert.
Yeah. So,
That's why he gets to drink alcohol.
so you'll have to spend spell tokens equal to the spell token cost, I think on the bottom right of any spell card that you're
Correct.
casting. There you go. Perfect. The purple ones, those are pure spells. You just resolve them and discard them. Orange ones are spell lures. Those are like permanent effects that you attach to a champion or a territory or a relic. And then there are yellow spells, which are hidden spells. I'm gonna come up here, even though it's upside down.
Play my trap card.
So, yes, these are trap cards. Hidden spells, you're gonna play face down on the table and basically like read the text on it to describe when it's going to activate. So this says, during the combat phase, if an opponent has 2 or more champions on the territory across from this one, which in the 4-player game I think counts as any territory that another player has. If they've got 2 or more champions, all champions on that territory have -3 attack power until the end of the combat phase. That's if I choose to activate it. So with a hidden spell, you put it face down on the table somewhere. And for this one, it looks like it's augmenting a territory, although it shouldn't matter for the 4-player game. I'm going to tuck it under my territory card, and then once the conditions to activate it have been fulfilled, which was 2 champions in a territory, I can then spend its spell cost to reveal it and resolve the text.
You have to yell, "You have triggered my trap card."
Yeah.
You fool.
Yes.
It's in the rules. I don't know.
I think it's in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, but
No, it's in the rules. I don't. It's
And
weird,
when you put
but
it underneath the card?
when you put it underneath the card, you don't pay anything.
But when do you do that?
On your turn, during the action phase on your turn, you can
Got it.
play cards as long as you've got the cost to pay for all of it.
Play champions on territories.
Play champions
And
to
play
territories, play relics
Cast
to
spells?
these
Move
spaces.
champions.
With
no movie
relics,
champions. Not in this mode.
generally speaking, you can only play 1 relic in this mode, to the left relic space. If you have the king card, you are currently the king of the hill. You are the king, your territory is the hill. If you are currently king of the hill, you can play a second relic to your right relic space.
Cool.
If somebody manages to deal damage to your territory that is equal to or greater than half of its remaining hit points at the time. So, right now, this territory's got 11 hit points. Somebody deals 6 or more damage to me in 1 blow, they become the new king. But if this territory has 5 hit points left, you only have to deal 3 or more damage to me to become the new king. That make sense? Half or more of the remaining hit points
Got it.
in a single blow, then you become the new king. If you lose the king card and you have a second relic in play, that relic is immediately sacrificed, which means those points go to the person who just became the new king. Anytime you sacrifice, sacrifice, that's right. Anytime you sacrifice a card, everybody else scores those points.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's whoever deals the killing blow on the card gets those points.
Did you explain what sacrifice is in the other context?
I did
yet?
not.
Okay.
You can also sacrifice a card if you want to play a new champion and you don't have enough food in that territory. You can choose to sacrifice a champion that's already there, get it out of the way to make room for a new one, but its point value is going to be scored by everybody else at the table when you sacrifice it. Same thing goes for relics. If you want to replace a relic on the board with a new one, you're giving those points to everybody else.
Okay.
I think that is the gist. I know
Yeah.
we're going to have a ton of questions as we play through this.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
Not
because
me.
there's going to be a ton of terminology on the cards that have not been defined. We'll check the rule book for those.
What does that mean?
I think, though, that is the gist. Hey, thanks for hanging out. If you want to spend more time with us, do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, head on over to twitch.tv/BNB Tabletop and give us a follow there. We play board games live every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a show we call The Board and Barrel. And we like to keep things interactive. You guys can influence what happens throughout the course of a game with our Buff and Nerf house rules. You can also make predictions on how things are going to pan out, play virtual bingo for a chance to win a free board game of your own, and heckle us and stuff from the chat. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you Sunday night.